Hey there, and welcome to The Lever, the show where we break down how the evolution of technology will shift leverage more in the worker's favor than ever before. This isn't your mother's leadership or HR podcast talking about hybrid work as the future. That's not the future. That's now. We're talking about how major innovations in AI, robotics, automation, and Web3 will fundamentally change the role of humans at work for the better. My team and I sought out 25 of the most intelligent minds in economics, investing, academia, and business to determine the driving forces behind this monumental shift. Throughout this show, we'll explore captivating topics like how much a human worker is worth, our ongoing pursuit for work's purpose, what the future of human performance measurement looks like, and how top-tier talent could have a baseball card-like representation in years to come. I'm your host, Drew Fortin. Let's get to it. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the future of work. Last episode, we talked about how the social contract with employers is changing, and I left you with a big question. What is our role at work when AI truly arrives? And I say truly because this is only the beginning.
Our experience so far is that companies tend to be underwhelmed with the impact of AI. That's because the best it can do is save a little bit of money. Right. On whatever jobs or processes it's making a little bit better.
That's Avi Goldfarb, the Rotman Chair of Artificial Intelligence at the University of Toronto and co-author of a book called Prediction Machines.
The other more exciting element is to think through how can you deliver a better product, serve your customers differently, better deliver on the mission of the organization through AI. And that involves completely changing your workflows and changing the people who are responsible for what within your company. That's what we call system level change. That's where the biggest opportunities lie.
But oftentimes, decision makers are scared of these incredibly huge disruptions to core business. This involves new roles and demand for new skills. And it requires you to ask questions like, what if there were no need for those workers at all?
Investment firm Goldman Sachs looked at the global impact and found AI could replace 300 million full-time jobs.
Today, though, its CEO said up to 10,000 jobs would be replaced by new tech, including AI.
If it bleeds, it leads. AI is here and it's rapidly advancing. Will it level us up or tear us down?
Hollywood did us a favor and a disfavor. Basically, kind of promoted robotics, and robotics is cool and very exciting, very interesting. But at the same time, most of those movies, robots get out of control and become a scary movie. But when we speak about robotics, we don't mean humanoid. And this is a very important distinction. Robotics is just smart machines. It's a smart automation. So if you take an automated machine and you add AI to it, it becomes a robot. So this is one way, a simple way to think of it. If you take the AI, it's just automation. If it's AI with nothing moves, it's just AI. It's just a software.
Maybe AI is just the next step on this technological evolution journey we've been on for thousands of years.
For some reason, people are very, very concerned and they have a lot of negative perception about robotics. But the reality is, it's just another evolution of economies, industries, and the kind of stuff that humans have been created since the invention of the wheel and the lever, all the way to back in like ancient Egyptians when they use animals for agriculture. And then people said, you know what, let's create some sort of other mechanism that's less dependent on animals. River currents, for example. Then you have the creation of all of these kind of things that rely on wind or water to move some of the mechanisms that we created. And then humans invented, obviously, the steam engine, and then you have all the evolution of engines until we came to the Industrial Revolution. And when you track this development, how many jobs got displaced? A lot. The invention of the automobile displaced the whole industry of carrots and horses and all of that. Would it have made sense back then to say, no, we are not going to use the automobiles because it's going to kill the carriage industry and let's just stick to that? It wouldn't make any sense. Right. So I think this is a natural evolution. We as humans we are converging into some sort of an end. We want to be more fast. We want to be more productive. We want to be doing less work. That's why this evolution is happening, because we are driven into a certain end. So I would think of what's happening now in robotics and AI as just another evolution in this kind of path.
At the heart of every fear of a technological leap is one big question. Are we being replaced? The unknown is a scary place. We don't know what we don't know. Experts have even called for a 6-month pause to develop in these technologies due to public risk. Here's Avi again.
It's a lot easier to identify that the jobs that technology is going to disrupt than the new opportunities that are going to be created. Because what we can say is, oh, here's some things humans do, and here's what the machine does, and we can, figure out that replacement. And so it's easier for us to worry about what's going to disappear than for us to imagine all the new ways of work. If you talk to somebody in the 19th century to imagine what almost all of us do today for work, it would have been almost impossible. The work world is so completely different than it was back then.
While replacement may be the most pressing unknown in industries like tech, where there's a fear of losing knowledge-based tasks, manufacturing is dying for AI and automation.
We look at our manufacturers now, and all of them are suffering from lack of workforce.
That's Joyce Sidopoulos, Chief of Operations at Mass Robotics, the world's largest robotics accelerator. And what does she see? The amount of young talent entering manufacturing is decreasing.
There's not people that want to go into these manufacturing jobs as is. So still manufacturers are very manual, very repetitive tasks. We visited a lot of manufacturers, and the first thing they say is, look at our workforce. There's an aging workforce. These people are working because they don't want their children to have to do the jobs that they're doing. So bringing in some automation and some robotics into the field makes it sexy.
And adding robotics and AI into the mix has had a different effect than you might expect.
Every manufacturer that we know that has employed robots has actually increased their employee count, because using the robots, they're more efficient, right? They're producing more product. Now they need more shipping people, they need more marketing, they need more sales. So really, when you increase efficiency, you're also increasing production, which is increasing the need for more employees.
Not just industries, but other populations would really benefit from AI workers. In places like China and Japan, the workforce as a whole is aging.
Now, the United Nations are expecting a significant shift by the year 2050. By then, according to a new study, only 11% of the Chinese will be under 14, and seniors over 65 will make up a full third of the nation's population.
Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist John Markoff was on the ground reporting this.
I was a complete believer in the idea that automation was going to come to China and it was going to lead to a massive dislocation of the workforce and perhaps revolution because people were out of jobs. And I was making that case to a man by the name of Danny Kahneman, a Nobel Prize-winning economist. And he stopped and he said, "You've got it all wrong." He said, "In China, they'll be lucky if the robots come just in time." And I said, "Well, what do you mean by that?" And he walked me through the demographics of modern China. He walked me through the fact that their workforce is aging even more quickly than America's workforce is aging. We are a graying world and we need robotics, and the robots aren't here yet. And so that's a very different take on the sort of, oh my God, the robots are coming kind of view of the world. The robots aren't coming quickly enough.
The future can't come quick enough. And now with AI on the horizon, workers will need to acquire new skills to meet new demands. Carol Myers, venture partner of Glasswing Ventures, wants to educate future employees to be prepared for AI and not be averse to it.
An awful lot of AI is around assisting people to do their jobs better.
Yep.
Not necessarily completely replacing their job. There will be displacement, but there'll be something new. So as we always need to do, we need to be thinking about how do we retrain people? How do we help people learn and grow? Yeah. And I'm very excited that my son is going back to school. He's going to go get a degree in AI, because he sees the importance of that and not sort of resting on school from 5 years ago, right? Let's go out and get a new degree and be ready for what's coming in the world. And I think we're all going to need to do that.
There are still plenty of things that AI cannot do. Despite everyone using ChatGPT, putting the Pope in a Balenciaga jacket and writing some video scripts. In all seriousness though, ChatGPT, Bard, etc. These tools are only as good as the human who asks questions of it. There will need to be a curator well into the future, since generative AI can't be trusted to go from start to finish on its own, at least for now. Corey Heimel at Gigster explains this new relationship with AI.
ChatGPT was built to form, a large language model to respond with text like a human, but it can't draw comparisons between that and other areas, right? Like it can't connect the dots like a human can. Deloitte actually calls our current kind of tech area the age of with. So in the future, like, yes, there'll always be people needed to work with these machines.
The kind of jobs that will be relying on humans to do if we have lots of robots running around. First, supervising robots. I think every human will become a supervisor and humans will be the frontline workers. So this is one thing to make sure of the quality, consistency, fixing bugs and all of that. So this is one whole kind of category of jobs. The second one is people who will actually debug and fix robots, because robots will break down, they will have some issues. And this could be both hardware and software. Yes, we can create robots that will fix robots. I do believe that we will still need humans to make sure of that. And then the third thing is, I don't think that robots are good now in terms of anticipating things. We will rely on humans to anticipate.
Just to paint a picture of how AI could be used to transform roles within a company, take Black & Decker, a manufacturer of common household tools. Robots could now come in, manage the manufacturing process for those tools, as we've discussed. And after the product is created, generative AI could then create product descriptions for these tools, design and write a one-page flyer for the product to assist with distribution, and launch it on Amazon with high-quality production photos. All done by robots. A human's role in this process would be to oversee, edit, and curate all of these functions. And because of all the time bought back from writing, editing, content creation, etc., they can focus more on business strategy and high-impact things like relationships with vendors and customers. In a way, AI is making our jobs more human.
There's a place for humans to be human. We're not sucking all the humanity out of work.
Here's William Tincup, president and editor-at-large of recruitingdaily.com, one of the biggest online media companies for recruiters.
Take scheduling on the recruiting side. You used to have, and some people still do, the human being would do scheduling for candidates and recruiters or hiring managers. Tuesday at 3 or 4, would you like, is that Pacific time and this, that, and the other? And you know what? There's a bot that's just better at doing that and setting all of that up and setting up a Zoom call and being done with it in like 6 seconds. Okay, that takes nothing away for Jim or Jane. It just says there's a better utility of their skills.
And here's Adam Ozimek, chief economist at Economic Innovation Group and formerly Upwork.
There is, I think, disproportionate focus on the extent to which it's going to replace jobs that we do. I think it's better to think of it as its impact on tasks, specific tasks. So AI might replace some tasks that you do, and that frees up your time to specialize in other tasks. I think that's one of the interesting fears is that, well, this is going to come for skilled workers because it's coming for like analytical work, it's coming for writing work, it's coming for research work. The sort of knowledge work automation is not something we're as used to seeing. And I think it's making some people a little bit nervous, but in reality is we have more skilled work to be done than we have skilled workers. And the nature of technological change has been such that it's created so much demand for skilled workers that we haven't kept up.
For the sake of future generations, we have to embrace the inevitable. Resistance to change only creates more harm than good. Depending on who you talk to, the future is filled with sunshine or terrible storms.
So I do think that the job market will change as a result of AI.
That's Megan Keeney Anderson, CMO at Jasper AI, an AI-powered content creation and marketing tool.
The argument around AI versus human, or I'm going to just fire this human and have an AI do their job for them, a one-for-one replacement, I think that is categorically flawed. And I think it's flawed because no matter how good AI gets, and it's going to get good, it will always be absent of human judgment, core ethics, a grounding in intent, lived experience, and genuine expertise. And so without that, the content's pretty shallow, no matter how beautifully written it is. I instead think about this as an accelerant for humans. I think about it as a tool that will make us better more efficient, create space for new ideas.
I think the big relationship between the employee and the employer is always be open with them so they understand why you're making decisions and why you're bringing in technology. You're bringing in technology not to take their job, but to make their job better and to empower them more, right? And make their everyday life better.
You can think that it's going to be doom and gloom for everybody that was doing a job and now does not have that job available. Or you can think that AI and technological tools are going to free workers to do more and interesting and better work. I think the truth is somewhere in between.
Like everything else in this world, AI is not all bad or all good. We've talked about the drawbacks to AI, and while tasks are being replaced, the key point is that humans will never be replaced. Our role in the world filled with automation is beautiful. It's free, giving us more time to focus on relationships and to spend time on what's next. We can take space to consider a product strategy while AI handles the menial labor of actually selling the product. We can accelerate the pace of human progress and fall in love with a more meaningful purpose as a species. Can AI go wrong? Totally. But I see AI as a beautiful evolution that unlocks our time to have a deeper connection with the people and world around us. And until a robot can do this, we'll be just fine. Join me next episode where we discuss how this new tech will affect businesses and what does democratization of work actually mean.
I think it is possible to build a business on 100% fractional freelance workers, but I think it requires a culture shift that we're just at the very starts of.
I'm Drew Fortin, and thank you for tuning into The Lever. I can't wait to show you what's next. And as always, remember, with technology, our leverage is limitless. Let's embrace it and change the world.